After quite a bit of time in the boatyard doing some routine maintenance, and quite a bit of time on the small island of Carriacou in Grenada, we were finally able to make our way to Sint Maarten, where we would prepare for the next big leg in our journey, an Atlantic crossing. Hey everyone, we're Sailing Sweet Ruca. I'm Kate, this is Curtis, and Roxy the dog, and we're here to sail around the world via Cape Horn and the Cape of Good Hope. We like to take the sea less traveled and are ready for some serious offshore sailing, so come along for the ride and click subscribe. With quite a bit of breeze, it was anchor up first, and then point the bow into the wind. Then it's time for the mainsail to go up to begin our over 400-mile sail north. We're finally moving again towards our goal, and it couldn't feel better. Next, I turn the boat down away from the wind. To prepare the jib to unfurl, we uncleat the sheets from the winches and get ready to release the furl line. Curtis opens the clutch for the red furler line to ease it while trimming the jib so that it unfurls in a controlled manner. He adds a final trim to get the telltales just right as we make our way around the west side of the island. Sometimes we use the autopilot as a third crew member. It can help get things done safely and efficiently. After Curtis takes down our Grenadian flag, it's time to turn the engine off and tidy the lines.
Happy?
Yeah.
Good now.
Yeah.
All's good in the hood. Trim for speed. And we're on this until 2 days. 3.5.
Once everything is tidy, it's time to do some fine-tuning to the sails and try and get better VMG out of the old girl.
Technically, we need a little more main halyard if you want to put another wrap on. Now, so close the clutch, put another wrap on.
Things were finally settled, so we could sit back and enjoy for a little, including Roxy too. That is, until we saw some dark clouds up ahead. The sky went from cloudy to gray, but we were still trucking ahead, ready for whatever weather.
Still headed north, or slightly right of north, about 5 degrees. Wind piped up to about 25 knots, and we're in a little bit of a squall here. This was forecast, showed there was going to be a little bit of rain, some clouds. We weren't quite sure what was going to be in it, but this seems about right. We did a little bit of a gear shift, put a reef in the main. We've got 2 reefs in the jib. We're still rolling with a speed over ground, about 8.5 to 9 knots. We're pretty happy campers right now. Not exactly your sunny days champagne sailing that we started out with, but it was a really good gear shift, and we're trucking.
When the rain was finished, we were greeted by a full rainbow, sending us on our way north to St. Maarten. The clouds and wind stayed for a bit, keeping our speed up and giving Curtis a great rip behind the wheel.
Just a little squall action, a little blowy. 1 second. A couple of puffs on the front of that were pretty good size, over 30, but we're still hustling right along, going in the right direction. Had to make a few gear shifts and manually run this one off. So what we did to run away from the squall, to not have to change our sail configuration too much, we just eased the sails off a little bit and we turned away from the breeze and we ran it down, made a little bit of speed, and now we're working our way back up. This is when this boat really shines. We're pretty close to the wind and we're just having a good old time. Super smooth right now, not getting tossed around. We've got about 15 degrees of heel angle and we're loving life. I mean, this is it, you know, this is sailing. Our blue sky is right up there. Good to go for a while.
Oh, I hope so.
We are about 25 miles west of Kingstown, St. Vincent. The wind dropped down after these squalls and the stars came out. So we're going a little slower, but it's actually a real nice, calm, smooth ride. We've got one little odd boat on the radar. Doesn't tell us too much about them. This is boat life. There's not much to do while we're sailing at night. We keep a lookout, obviously, so not a whole lot changes. You can come down here, take a break. We've got our alarms set for wind. We've got our alarms set for directional changes. We've got alarms set for radar and AIS. So that's really all we can do is just hang out. Let's go see what Kate and Roxy are up to. Hi, buddy. Good dog. Kate's doing way back here. Oh, we can't even see her. Pretty sure she's sleeping. Yeah, that's it. Pretty quiet. Gonna be a nice evening. We'll update you guys a little on down the road.
Oh, I ain't gonna live like this no more. Most of my life been waging war. I found peace.
After the system passed the next morning, the winds lightened a little, but we still kept the first reef in the main and 2 reefs in the jib. The sunrise was beautiful, and although there were lighter winds, the current and sea were mixed up, and the damage was done.
Well, everyone, it is Tuesday late afternoon, and I just shared my lunch with Poseidon again, so yippee! Anyways, trying to get some extra rest in here before we arrive in St. Maarten. Gonna be squeezing through some islands like St. Kitts and whatnot, and want to be prepared for any fluky wind or boat traffic, things like that. The sea is pretty mixed up right now. It's not too crazy windy, but we're moving along pretty good. So Roxy and I are just chilling here in the aft cabin, and we're gonna try out some of these new seasickness meds I got. So wish me luck. Catch up with you later.
We're about 60 miles west of Guadeloupe right now, so we're over halfway there. The last 24 hours we did 198.4 miles, so we almost got to our goal of 200 miles in a day, but not quite. We're reaching along right now doing about 8.5 knots of boat speed. The wind is about 18 to 20 knots. There's a little bit of current that's against us, so our speed over ground is just a little bit lower than our actual boat speed, maybe by about a knot. We're looking at being into St. Maarten in Simpson Bay, maybe around 6 o'clock in the morning. We might slow the boat down a little bit on purpose, just to take it easy tonight and make for more of a daylight entrance. We'll see how that goes and kind of play that by ear, but this is life right now. Enjoy. I'll take you for a little tour.
just a dream, just all in my head. Floating rivers of
We passed some huge piles of sargassum weed. In the Atlantic, it can often stretch for miles, making it a hindrance for boat speed and also safety, as it can jam up your steering system. When there's so much weed, it's difficult to steer around, and much of it even ends up on the deck.
We are west of Guadeloupe right now. This will be our last sunset before we get to Sint Maarten. We've got a reefed mainsail and a double reefed number 2 jib. It's working pretty well. Gliding along here at 8 knots, going almost directly north. The swell is kind of a wind against current situation, so it's really a weird chop right now. The boat's kind of all over the place, but she's handling it pretty well. I'm really happy with the way that the J46 is handled. Let's take a look at the sunset here.
that you said. Tell me and be honest. Tell me, did you know that you would believe in me just like the winners know? Tell me and be honest. Tell me, should I've known that you'd believe in me? So painfully quiet and slow. I try my best to move on, to let go.
As it turned out, the seasickness pills worked, and I was able to pull off my night shift, which turned out to be pretty interesting the closer we got to a channel. Well, folks, we've got ourselves quite a bit of a traffic jam up here. We've got a cruise ship and a sailboat that says it's 141 feet, and a tanker that is coming its way. We just had a tanker cross to our starboard, less than 2 miles distance from us, so as we are getting closer to St. Kitts and Nevis, there is a bit more traffic here. This cruise ship and tanker appear to be at least less than a mile, about a half a mile away from each other. It looks like the cruise ship slowed down to half speed to let him cross. But now we are just hoping that we can cross as well. It's still about 12 miles away from us, so should be clear ahead. However, there is another sailboat they might duck behind, which will put them closer to us. So, fun in the middle of the night. It's 1 in the morning.
Good morning. We are just to the west of St. Christopher Island, about 35 miles from our finish in St. Maarten. It's a really nice calm section because we're hidden behind the island, so the wind went from 20 to like 8 to 10. We did just put in a second reef in the mainsail while we're behind the island in this relative calm here, in order to prepare for this next leg, which we think is going to be a little bit more breeze than what we've had, and maybe a little bit more waves than what we've had. It'll be a little less heel, but I think we'll still move along at least 7.5 knots, and we've got no real time crunch. We'll be there in plenty of time to anchor in good light. So for right now, we're hanging out. We'll be around this island and rocking and rolling again in another 20 or so minutes. And we'll see you when it gets light out. We're in the Caribbean.
I know.
WTF.
I'm ruined. Probably like 70 degrees.
But it's warmer than that. What would a sailing YouTube video be without making coffee? Here's my version. So for all you coffee snobs that are gonna make fun of me, suck it. This is way easier to make instant coffee while you're actually sailing. Does the same thing, gets me my caffeine, makes me happy in the morning, without all the extra work.
It's a rainbow! Rainbow for our finish in St. Maarten.
We don't always rely on the autopilot. It's fun to get behind the wheel, especially on a sunny day. It's my favorite part of sailing.
Come and tell me what you need to know. We can stalk it and make it grow. Come and ask me what you want to know, and we can go from here. Oh, it just keeps turning, and here I am still learning.
Going.
We're almost to St. Maarten. We can see it. It's just up ahead.
Feel it in my bones, I can feel it in my veins. Hands in the sky, I can feel the winds of change. You live and you learn, and I hope I've seen enough to make something right and make up for what I've lost.
Not every day you just like sail on by an anchor cruise.
I was down, but things are looking up. I wanna get high.
As we approached land, Curtis furled the jib and we sailed in with the main, hunting for a spot to anchor in the beautiful turquoise waters. As a gunboat passed, we realized we weren't in Carriacou anymore.
With you, I wanna get high on, caught by surprise by you. Want you to make my heart feel as much as I know it's you.
We are here. The boat is really salty. You can barely even see through the glass there. Here's a quick look around at St. Maarten's anchorage.
Things turned around, didn't ever think they.
All right, it's time for us to go get cleaned up and clear in. We'll see you guys soon.
Our sail to St. Maarten was over 400 miles in less than 2 days, without any tacks or jibes, thanks to the brilliance of Curtis's weather routing. We got to go fast and arrive safely and timely. The boat handled like a champ, but it was time to prepare her for even more major offshore sailing. Our time in St. Maarten would be short and full of boat preparation for her trip across the Atlantic.